All right. Good evening, everybody, and Boomer Sooner. It's Sunday, September 8th, 2024. And tonight I am joined by Gavin and Sean and potentially Swiggy later tonight. Sean, Gavin, let's just skip the flattery and introductions because I have a lot to unload off my chest. And because we all know why we are here tonight. Because yesterday I thought that, OU had a lot of trouble against Temple, but they were going to clean up a lot of issues. And that it was safe to assume that with how bad of a showing OU had or Houston had against UNLV, it was going to be very safe to go run errands, and I had to go pick up convention items for a charity auction. I thought I could go to the con on Saturday without any thoughts that OU would take care of business comfortably. And lo and behold, after the convention day was over, I walked into my car, turned on the radio as I was traveling back, and I see that it's 14-12 halftime. And I'm going, oh my goodness, did something happen? Did someone get injured? Like, what's going on? Oh no, it is because our team, it sucks. They are a garbage football team, and boy, there's a lot to address on that. As I said with Postgame against Temple, we did not pass the eye test last week, in my opinion. And I believe many people also deep down know this vanilla playbook is a lot of BS coach talk. And that really, they had a lot of problems. We were going to win games ugly and that the defense was going to dictate how well we were going to do this season. But I'm angry, and you should be angry too, because this takes me back to having PTSD against Army in 2018 and Oklahoma State in 2022. And if you're not angry, you should be angry at this point because, be blunt, this is absolutely unacceptable. Guess what? We're still winning games by a score. It's just not 55-49. It's, 16-14, 16-12 at this point. Defense, I'm okay with. I have no complaints. We could talk about the highlights of defense, but offense, we need to have some serious talks about this offense. Where do I even begin at this point? Unless one of you wants to jump in and get stuff off of your chest first, because
I don't know why you're bothering trying to have a conversation. Honestly, we're fucked.
Oh, because I'm venting.
We're
because
fucked. I don't know what there is to talk about. It's like, and you bringing up Army. I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about with Army. We had a
because it was the same offensive stagnation we had against Army.
We had a Heisman-winning quarterback. There's everyone's trying to point out, and I see Jay's trying to point out, hey, 2015, there was some slow starts. No, dude, no.
It's unacceptable.
Just fucking no.
Let's just be honest. It's unacceptable.
I have never seen, take away that fucking shit with Texas 2 years ago, where we literally had no quarterback, and
that was okay because we knew going in we were probably gonna get our butts whipped. We had no quarterback. That was accepted. No. It was just how much.
I have never seen an offense this bad since the 90s.
You're right. I asked Dad last night, and he said
I've never seen anything that bad. I can point to, because people try to point to 09 and shit, dude. We had Trent Williams on that line. If the O-line had its issues in the middle where we're trying to pretend with let's put Brody Eldridge at center. That might work. No, fuck that. No. You had DeMarco Murray. You had Ryan Broyles. That was about it. Quarterback gets hurt. Bradford, even those worst years, there were moments where they moved the ball on some level. You want to say the O-line was inexperienced? No. I'm struggling to find a talented offensive lineman on this team that I'm like, yes, this guy could be a future pro one day. Now, maybe a guy like Eddie Pierre-Louis will be forced to play at some point, or any of the younger people. I don't know if Logan Howland, every time he gets in there, he's at least solid at pass pro, and the O-line for the most part in pass pro played okay. But the play calling is just.
Let
me break this down. I hear people say I like some of the play calling. The problem with the play calling is this: your quarterback is not fucking comfortable. And here's another thing: everyone says put in Mike Hawkins would not make a fucking difference. Well, Mike Hawkins pick up a few extra first downs, I guess. No,
sure.
But you're not going to have a fucking offense that's consistent that you can trust your team to score points on the reg with. Mike Hawkins is going to scramble around, and at some point, people with a pulse on defense will shut that shit down because no one's healthy on this offense either. Everyone gets fucking hurt. Like JJ Hester.
We need to address that as well.
JJ Hester gets in the game. He's hurt again. I mean, Nick Anderson's allegedly coming back next week. He ain't going to fix shit. I love Nick Anderson. He's my fucking hero. But guess what? Him just being out there isn't going to fix all the problems because everyone wants to bench Jackson Arnold. And it's like,
no, I'm not. I will be upfront. Jackson has, he made.
No, he's sucking ass right now. Don't.
Yes, but he's
people
not
are going to
get. I disagree with benching him. I'm nowhere near that yet. To me,
it's not going. Like everyone says, well, everyone's hoping for a Caleb Williams fucking miracle with Mike Hawkins. I hate to break the bad news. He ain't going to do that shit, dude. Like,
no, he's not.
Caleb Williams had fucking hype in the offseason. I mean, Mike Hawkins to an extent did too, but nothing compared to the hype of Caleb Williams had in the offseason before he took over the reins. No.
Correct.
What I'm saying right now is, unless we see something drastically different, we're fucked. Because the defense, as good as it is not going to be able to carry this football team for the rest of the season. Like someone said, it's like the 2000 Ravens. I'm like, all due respect, fuck you. We are not the 2000 fucking Ravens. I love this defense. It's the best we've had in 2 decades. Doesn't make it the number 1 elite defense in the country either. Like this team, in order to do the basic minimalistic things you were hoping for this year, a defense has to make play after play after play after play after play. And I don't see that happening on a week-to-week basis.
And they're
Tennessee is going to walk in to Norman in 2 weeks and whoop our fucking asses because at some point, because here's the funny thing, Tennessee, they might score 24 points and that's enough to whoop our ass. Yeah. Our defense could hold them 24, 28 points. Doesn't matter. It's not going to, we might hold them to their lowest scoring total of the year. You know what?
Yeah.
Fine. It's like, we are so fucking cooked right now unless something changes. Because I have no fucking hope for this offense right now because that was an abysmal performance against a bad football team. I don't want to hear anyone tell me about Willie Fritz. I respect the hell out of Willie Fritz, but he is not capable of getting that team to play to that level. That was all on us. This offensive line has no push. They can't run the football. Period. They can't run the football at all.
Yeah, and I said it last week, and I stand by it 1,000%. Barnes should be the starter. Tatum should be the backup, and Sawchuk should be third string.
How about giving Tatum more than How about giving Tatum more than 2
exactly? Carries? And that goes back to the play calling. What you exactly said. And I hated today of George Stoya saying, I thought the play calling was fine. They just executed. No, George, when you're not making a playbook that is tailored to your quarterback to at least have a script to give him confidence. Guess who that falls on? It falls on your offensive coordinator. It falls on the play calling. I'm not an X's and O guy. I've already said that millions of times.
Can you
guess
please,
what? Football 101.
Please throw the RPO bullshit in the fucking trash for a moment.
It's up there with jet sweeps from last year.
Throw it in the garbage. He cannot run this fucking RPO shit right now because he's like a deer in headlights because he don't know what the fuck to do. If I have to watch him one more time with his hands over his helmet because trying to hear the play through the goddamn fucking speaker in his ear, if I have to see that shit one more time, I am going to Elvis my TV. I swear to God. It is just our offense has the efficiency of a Tesla on fire. It is not getting you anywhere right now. So
that's a good analogy.
I just
they're bad, and I know there are people.
Injuries are a part of this. Because I do believe
that's valid.
We would be a little bit better just by default if Jane Gibson, because you start to stack up the injuries on this offense. All of a sudden, it's like, oh shit. Because
and that's extremely valid.
All of you fuckers out there who were hating on Farouk, I bet you're missing his ass right now. I bet you wish he could be just a solid piece that can get you a few yards on a third down. Jaden Gibson, God bless the kid. I hope he comes back and is healthy next year. Nick Anderson, like, I worry that dude has a hammy and it's going to nag him all year. So even if he does come back, like, my negativity right now is that he's going to like tweak it and he'll be out. He'll get like 4 or 5 plays in. So that's just where I'm at mentally right now. So forgive me. Like, this is at my worst. So,
and that's fine because we need to be realistic about this.
And Deion Burks is our one threat at wide receiver. But what Willie Fritz did, to his credit, because any coach with a brain would do it, they bracketed the dude and they played deep to take away his deep threat ability. So you got to find guys underneath, Jackson. You know, Jaquez Petaway was in the game at some point doing some underneath drag routes where you could just, he does not make his reads. And I put that all in the coaching staff. Like, he is not comfortable going to his number 2 or number 3 option. The only time he ever has any, I guess if the tight ends are his number 1, he feels good at times. But man, just, you know, Burks was the reason like that pick happened. Like, if he would have like stayed on course, like it would.
Yeah, if he would have stayed on his, when I reviewed the game, if he would have stayed on his route, it may have still been picked, but it would have been not nearly as bad. That was just a complete. But
Jackson, he is afraid. He is totally afraid to do those anticipation throws where he tries to throw someone open. He can't do it. He's afraid to do it because I think he's got like PTSD from the Alamo Bowl where he tried to do that shit and he got picked off multiple times. And so now he's gone too far in the other direction where he's not doing it at all. And again, you don't have a consistent guy at center. We've had 3 guys play center in 2 games. Yep. And the one guy we're hoping like Branson Hickman to come back would help a little bit, I guess. I don't know. Just people say he's got an ankle sprain, a high ankle sprain. I'm guessing it's a high ankle sprain. Hatchett I don't want Hatchett on the offensive line anymore, period. He's kind of a douchebag anyway, like low key. But the point of the matter is, Bates, he may there's mistakes there.
Bates, if I was coach last night, I would have walked up to Bates right after the game and said, congratulations, go run laps right now with your helmet on.
I wanted to. We're embarrassed already. We're just trying to end the game and the suffering. And then
I wanted to strangle him.
I'm like, we're trying to run clock. I'm like, well, you just got a personal foul. And we gave them a smidgen of hope again. And I'm like, and it's like, and everything is like, oh my God, the universe is setting you up for this to happen, isn't it? And thankfully it didn't, because too much PTSD from previous defenses. But God bless this defense, dude. It's, you know, it's got,
and I'm proud of them.
The defense has actual leadership. It has depth. It has experience. It has everything I've ever wanted. But I'm sorry I used the monkey's paw a couple of years ago. It's my fault. I used the monkey's paw. I wish Oklahoma had an actual defense. And of course, you know, the aliens showed up, and it's like, don't blame me. I voted for Krotos. Here we are. Here we are.
And I want to address something we haven't talked about, and I know I'm going to be off kilter.
We thought we had a kicker. We don't now. So there's that.
Well, yeah, there's that too.
I knew he was going to miss that motherfucker. It's like, he's going to miss this, isn't he? And I'm like, and I laughed.
And you know what's sad?
Missed it.
You know what's sad, Sean, is last night, because Dad and Dawn went to the game, because of how bad it was, even Dad forgot that they even attempted a field goal. He's like, when did that happen? Oh, yeah, that did happen last night. By the way, I forgot.
Here's another one. Can we stop singing fucking 9/11 songs at the end of the third quarter? It's so fucking cringy and awful.
Oh, I laughed my ass off.
I don't care that we're honoring Toby Keith. Do not sing his fucking 9/11 songs. It comes up as weird.
It's cringy. Everyone thought last
week. Stop singing 9/11 songs.
I got yelled at last week when I said that was done. Well, the family requested it. Fine. Okay, guys. Let's see what they have the rest of the season. And now apparently this is the song they want to play the entire season. And I said, no, end it now. This is not even what Toby Keith would have wanted anyway. God. Let's be honest. But no, I'm going to say something.
You know how many times I've heard that shit when I was like fucking serving, and it's like, oh my God. Because like we had to hear, we got to have some fucking ceremony. Dude, we just got back from overseas. We just want to fucking go home. Can we play no more? And it's like, thankfully when I came back home, in 2007. It was the middle of the night. We grabbed our shit, got on the buses, and headed back to our fucking unit. And I lived in the barracks, so I'm just like, I grab my. Are we good? I'm grabbing my shit. I'm going to fucking bed in my own room for the first time in like 10 months. So it's like, I don't want to sit around and sing fucking ass boot or whatever. Can we just go?
Yeah, it's cringy. Like, just play Beer for My Horses, have the ponies run around. Especially in a situation like that, that is not the song to play.
It's just like,
it's forced.
I don't. Just...
And what's funny, even the people I speak to who love the song, even they have said, this ain't it, dudes. Like, pick something else. And yeah, pick something else. I want to say something though that has.
I'm gonna sing "Ashes" by Celine Dion. That's what I'll say.
I'm gonna say something, and
you're
more than welcome to call me crazy, but I'm already on the fire. Seth is not good. To
no
me,
one's getting fired.
No, I know.
You could want to fire him all you want. No one's getting.
fired. I'm already on the front of the line. Seth needs to go. With that,
no one's getting fired. No one's getting benched.
With that fourth quarter little debacle with the victory.
I could be mad too, but I know realistically what's not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm realistic. Like, if he gets fired, it's the end of the season. But that said,
no one is. You know how psychotic that would make our program look if we fired him after 2 games. And I know. I
want to stress. I'm saying the end of the season. I'm not saying
that would still on some level. But
I'm on board with it. I'm not a fan of Seth. Again, to me, he told me everything he is about an OC with that stupid victory formation. I had Miami flashbacks and we're going to lose this game because of that stupid thing. No.
That wasn't his fault. That was his
call. That victory formation with him having Jackson Arnold to try to burn off a little bit more clock, that is him. Go out there and take the knee.
I don't blame him for that. I blame Josh Bates. I blame Josh Bates for that. That's not his fault. I don't have a problem. Dude, I know exactly what he's trying to do. I get it. It's like, let's take a knee, get it down to 7-8 seconds. We'll either punt or run around and throw the ball away or whatever. I get what that was trying to accomplish. I disagree with you wholeheartedly. I blame Josh Bates for like losing his mind, taking off his helmet in front of the ref. It's like, of course, a Big 12 ref, mind you, of course they're going to throw the flag and stop the clock. Listen, I'll be mad at Seth Luttrell for a lot of things. That's not one of them. Okay,
how are you not mad on that of him not teaching him to take the knee at the victory formation?
What are you talking about? He's trying to you're mad about Jackson Arnold. It's like, no, he's trying to kill as much clock as possible before he goes down. And then Bates gets all pissy, like he's like, you don't do that. It's like, dude, calm the fuck down. We're trying to get the fuck out of here. That's on Bates for losing his cool. I'm not blaming Seth Luttrell for that.
I'm sorry, I'm in a.
If you want to blame Jackson Arnold, you can blame him.
I fully blame Seth for that call because that call still comes from Seth. I'm sorry. I'm going to absolutely disagree.
If you want to blame Seth for anything, how about get a fucking first down? You don't have to do that shit to begin with.
Or
that's what you should. That's what you blame him for.
I'm already done with Seth. Like I said, it does not matter what anyone says. I cannot wait for him to leave Norman. He is not the guy. I'm tired of this nepotism shit.
Well, they're trying to run this fucking inside zone, and his offensive line can't fucking block for it.
And yeah, don't get me wrong. I understand that. I understand. That's why
you and I could line up against that offensive line and stop that inside zone.
My mom has 2 bum knees that she had knee replacements on the past year, and she would have done a better job. No, she knows I said that joke. She has no offense to that. But I'm serious. She could have put up more of a fight than our O-line. Our O-line sucks. I hate it.
Even then, we've had...
And I'm going to say this, too. This needs to get off my chest. I think we need to start having to talk about Beat 'em Bo. I really do. I'm at the point of, why does it take fucking 7 games to figure out starters?
I'll tell you what.
Figure it out, Beat 'em Bo.
I'll tell you what Beat 'em Bo did. And because this is not just a Beat 'em Bo thing. It's also falls on Brent too. Beat 'em Bo, because this is what's costing him right now. Because for about a year and a half, Beat 'em Bo and Brent, they didn't want to play especially when it came to the portal and stuff, or even recruiting. He did not want to go after or waste time with the really high level tackles or offensive linemen for NIL cash. Yeah. And obviously that has changed with the commitment of Michael Fasusi. So he has changed his tune. The problem is we're suffering the consequences of that brief period where he wasn't playing the game. He's clearly playing the game now, because if he wasn't, you don't get Michael Fasusi if you don't play that game. So that's kind of the problem you're in right now, because it's a retroactive oh shit. Because it also doesn't help that losing Caden Green is just an even bigger loss now, because Caden Green was in there, he would get every opportunity to play tackle. Oh, meanwhile in Missouri, he's playing guard. So it's like, again, they needed to win a big. They needed a big win in the portal for tackles, and they didn't. They got Spencer Brown, which was he's never playing meaningful snaps again unless the season.
He's not even on the practice squad at this point, dude. He is terrible.
No, they don't even put Spencer Brown in there. So they're moving Tarquin around left and right tackle. I'm at the point where it's like, and I think another big issue is Fabici Uwiwu is not living up to any of the hype, and that's the one guy you thought, yeah. Oh, and you could say he's graded, but now he can't block all by himself either. So probably it's a combination of a lot of things, but he's getting, and I again, this is a whole offense thing. It's not just one person not doing their job.
Correct. It was great. And
if it was one person not doing their job, it would be obvious and glaring. It's like, it's here. That's why it's so fucking awful. And
again, I want to clarify too, because chat thinks I'm wanting to fire beat him, but I'm not. But I think it's time that Brent needs to start stepping in, bro, and pick your guys. This is not a rotation anymore. We need to get this going. This cannot be 7 games. You have 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks now.
Eddie Pierre-Louis is going to make mistakes, and you're going to have to live with that. But I promise you,
I would rather have him out there than
probably going to be more. You are going to get him ready for next season, and you'll have like experienced snaps with him. And if you start him now, he'll be really solid by the time we get into later conference play, win or lose games. Eugene Brooks might be another guy. Look, I've said it for fucking years, and I'll say it again. I'll scream to the mountaintop. If there's one position on the O-line you can play freshman, it's guard.
Yeah.
It's the one position you can, afford to guys who are. He did it with fucking Caden Green last year. So it's just, if Eddie Pierre-Louis is that guy, and I'm not going to tell you he's completely physically ready at the same time, but man, I don't know what you got to lose at this point, because
you don't. Say it. We don't, because you throw him in there.
It looks like right now, unless things drastically change, because I keep hearing about things are fixable. It's like,
then fix it.
then fucking fix it.
Yeah,
but I'm at the point where it's like, we're going to waste our best defense in 2 decades, and it saddens me, and it makes me sick. So it's
the monkey paw curled the other way. Exactly what you said. 2017, we wasted the best offense. Now we're wasting the best defense because the other side of the ball.
I'm literally going to sit here. I am literally going to sit here in a year and have the same conversation with myself about 08, 09. I wish I could put the 08 offense with the 09 defense. Am I really going to sit here and wish I could put
you are,
the 23 offense with the 24 defense? Is that what's happening here?
Yeah, because I'm saying the same thing of why can't the stars align for both sides of the ball? And some of that's on Brent at this
Heath Ozeda is another guy.
That is.
Heath Ozeda is a guy I've heard all offseason was going to be a guaranteed, it's going to be Ozeda, it's going to be Troy Everett before he got hurt, and then got Hickman. It was going to be Ozeda, Hickman, and Fabici Uwiwu at right guard. But the tackle spots they'll figure out. And it's like, okay, tackle spots are going to I can live in a world where the tackles are so-so. But if the interior is good, you can work with that. You can do some. But everything sucks right now. Everything is
on the offensive side of the ball.
Everything is on fire.
Yeah.
And no amount of water or baking soda can put this shit out. It's just...
Bro, I'm already ready next week, and I know people are going to pitchforks and torch me. I'm already getting my booing in perfect form, because I expect some boo birds next week, and I'm going to be one of them.
They booed last night!
Oh, Dad said they didn't boo last night.
Bullshit! I heard on the fucking broadcast people booing. So
yeah, I didn't hear any booing, but
I heard fucking booing
in the second half.
Yep, I did during the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Oh, cool. Then I'm going to have it in perfect form.
That's exactly when you heard it. So
I'll be in perfect form. I already gave up my logic of you make 7 figures, you get to accept boos from the crowd. Same thing with the players.
You can
don't boo the players. You make NIL now.
Yeah,
I'm booing
you can boo players now because they make money, especially quarterbacks. So I'm the days of like if this was 10 years ago, hey, he's a young kid, and he's still learning the system, blah blah blah. Nope, not anymore. So
they're paid. I have no shame. And you know what's funny?
They were always paid, but it's like there's paperwork on it now.
Correct. There's receipts. It's funny because I talked to my dad very briefly last night as I was traveling back, and he said, I got to the point where I'm even saying I'm paying this much for season tickets, and that's the shit you put out on the field. What in the living hell?
Also, how about here's another thing. Can we stop living in a world where I feel like a dad at a Little League game watching my son in right field and praying he catches the ball, the fly ball, as I'm watching Peyton Bowen or Billy Bowman Jr. attempt to catch a punt? My God, that was an adventure last night.
Yeah.
And I know Peyton Bowen's dinged up and like, oh my God, leave me the fuck alone off Discord. I don't give a shit about your memes. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Just give me a minute here.
But
have you seen this meme? No, I don't care. Shut the fuck up.
Again, Dad even, like I said, mentioned last time with it, but you mentioned with the special teams. Yeah, special teams is just as bad too. And I almost hope
not true. Not true. We have a punter. Luke Elzinga's my hero.
Half of it.
I would sleep with Luke Elzinga. I would be his girlfriend. I love him that much. So because he could pin guys deep. Shit.
Yeah.
And I hope Keltner bounces back next week. I hope that was just like he was trapped in a void with everyone else, and it's like, what's going on, everyone? It's like he knew he was going to miss that fucking kick. You could just sense it coming, and it was just like I had no reason to think it was coming. It's just like,
and to add that too, you know what was driving me nuts with it, as I kept seeing like people were trying to blame like the defense for like whiffing on the 44-yard touchdown. Like, dudes, they're gassed. Like, I don't blame them for missing it.
No, Kenneth Walker fucking fucked up. It's not. They weren't gassed. That doesn't do with being gassed. That was the first half when they gave up that touchdown. Nothing to do with being gassed.
I thought that was second half.
No, that was the fucking first half. It's like no. Like I don't blame the defense if they give up a score. I don't. Like, because they're doing their fucking job. You held them to 2 field goals and a touchdown, and they went for 2, and you stopped it.
Yeah.
They're doing their fucking job. Like, I don't expect the offense to score every time like it's 2017 or 2018. Can you score fucking 24 to 28 points? I'm dead fucking serious. Can you score 24 to 28 points with your offense?
Well, Sean and Gavin, I have the joke always of I love to hear the funny stuff of I'm a better coach than the actual coaches because I play college football 25 because I actually know the plays.
Our offense looks like me trying to figure out how to play the game back in July, like everyone else.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It's that bad. We live in a world where LSU and Bama are vulnerable, and we can't take advantage of it. They look vulnerable as fuck, and we can't take advantage of it right now.
And do you think that it's the equilibrium?
We could win 9 to 10 games if we just didn't look like total shit on offense, and we can't take advantage of it.
Yeah. Do you think we may where we're at this point? We kind of reached the other end where we're going back to the middle from all these hyper offenses, and now it's becoming more defensive based, and that's kind of we're starting to get like misses on evaluations on players from high school.
It's not about misses on evaluations. It's like part of it is like guys are getting banged up. They missed on a bunch of like high level tackles.
Yeah,
or like top 100 guys. Like Nate Anderson was supposed to be a dude. He went to SMU and said, let's make him a center. And that's not working out either.
Yeah.
It's just like, you go back and look at offensive line. It's like, listen, Bill finds guys and he can transform them. And sometimes it takes a minute, but if we're not living a world by October where Heath Ozeda or other guys are getting their shots,
yeah,
why should I have hope? I just
but that goes back to
it right now.
But then that goes back to if they're not getting it, then we need to start having a talk about Beatenbow. And I'm not saying fire, but it's time for Brent to step in and pull head coach of you're starting these guys. I'm not giving you an option. This is what's going to happen. And that's the same thing he needs to be pulling with the offense. He's letting the offense have too much free reign. This is what you're calling. And you're not going to call something else.
Brent needs to step up. Brent's not going to call the offense. You know
Brent needs to figure something out.
You know what Brent's going to do? Brent's going to get on his headset, the one I'm wearing right now, and say, hey, we need a running play right here. That's what he's going to do, because that's what Bob did. Bob ain't not like
Bob was a little more involved than that. But
sure,
I get what you're saying.
He ain't no offensive guru. All due respect,
and I'm not saying he's not.
Brent's no offensive guru.
I guess where I'm going
he's
is
going to get on his
better way.
He's going to get on his headset and said, hey, let's try to get the tight ends involved here, or he'll notice someone's open in a route or something.
Yeah,
but he's not going to sit there and dictate how the offense is run. That's what he pays Seth to do. And
Seth is failing on that. I wish I could make $1 million.
He's not going to fire his ass after 2 games or do that after 2 games.
I know.
Offense. Here's the big thing, because this is where it all comes down to for me. The O-line on some level has to get healthy, and you need your best 5 out there in the right spots.
Correct.
That's when I will really go hellfire on earth if we're doing that, and that's where you'll really see me, because it does not excuse the schemes. It does not excuse everything else where you can't get your quarterback comfortable against 2 garbage football teams. And Willie Fritz, hell of a head coach. He does not have the horses, but we don't have the horses. We don't have the horses at wide receiver right now, because we got a bunch of fucking I'm gonna offend somebody if I say this. We got a bunch of fucking midgets out there right now.
We do.
Who's the tallest wide receiver we got right now that's actively not hurt? You tell me.
Burks.
He's the tallest. Yeah, that's the point. He's under 6 foot.
Yeah.
Hester got dinged up. Nick Anderson didn't play. Jen Gibson was
where the fuck is Petaway?
Petaway played. He played some snaps last night, but he got open on a route. I don't know what's going on. And you need to play Taylor Tatum more, because he finds a way to do something. He's not 100. I'm not saying he's going to get you 200 yards and 4 touchdowns, but
I agree.
My God, could you play him a little more?
It's the same thing I keep saying is Tatum, to me at this point, 2 games in, we're already in meltdown mode. You got to put the guys with the.
Isn't he the leading rusher of the running backs?
Yes, right yes, that's what I'm saying.
And he doesn't even have 100 yards. He's the leading rusher.
Yeah, and I've gotten yelled at saying this I think Sawchuk has absolutely regressed since his phenomenal performance.
He can't make any plays because first of all,
it's the O-line. It's the O-line. I understand that.
Well, no, he can't make plays because he can't be like that. Because he can't be like that patient running back who lets holes develop. Because you don't have an O-line who can do that right now. So putting him, that's why they pull his ass, because there's nothing for him to do. Gavin Sawchuk, you'll say Gavin Sawchuk.
I don't want to make it. I don't understand that.
Gavin Sawchuk's the type of dude who's the perfect guy for a draw play or whatever. He'll be patient and get him out there for. But again, it's he's a ghost out there who doesn't exist, and it's just I don't know what to tell you at this point, because I go and the first play from scrimmage, it's a loss of yardage. I'm oh my God, it's going to be one of those nights.
And it seemed like that set the tone of the game. When I went back and looked at it, when that was a loss, it seemed like they completely lost their minds of what to do.
And they needed a horrible call by those Big 12 refs to say that it was a muff punt to get their first score.
Well, I guess I missed that as well for it, even from my.
I watched that.
Here's in the moment. What happened? Because again, I missed.
We went 3. We went 3 and out. We went 3 and out. and we punted the ball, and it appeared that maybe the ball grazed the hand of the punt returner, and then it rolled. And I'm watching live. You guys should grab that ball just in case, which they did on the 10-yard line. Refs awarded them the ball. They went to replay. They said they touched it. They could not find an angle to prove that he didn't touch it. There wasn't that direct angle where you could see the ball and a gap between the fingers or whatever. It was just, and so
if they would have called it the other way, essentially, it would have been.
It would have been Houston. Well. It just would have been Houston ball.
Yeah, it would have been Houston ball.
But it's like you have, and then to Jackson Arnold's credit in the offense, like first play, he finds Brennan Thompson open across the middle in the end zone for a touchdown. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that was an RPO touchdown for sure.
It was an RPO. It was okay.
The irony.
Back at that moment, like, you know what? We're off to a great start. I think it's going to be a good night, folks. 3 hours later, boy, was I wrong. And then everyone in the chat, my chat was harping, oh my God, if we weren't gifted that touchdown, this would be like a tie game, or this would be a 1 point. It was insane.
Wasn't the on the radio again? I had it kind of on my like radio stuff listening as I was driving back. What was with the safety?
You didn't suffer with me properly.
Okay, so the safety part of it was basically like they basically did a run basically from the 5-yard line, headed off to the running back and everything. Looked like a little sweep deal, and he just basically got tackled in the end zone is what happened.
What my understanding was, they were
Grayson Holton is your hero. Grayson Holton is your hero.
Yeah, I was trying. That's why he's the picture on this stream.
Yep.
My understanding was like they couldn't like the quarterback did cross the plane, but they couldn't tell if the ball did, and that's why like they were trying to figure stuff out.
As long as the ball is over the line a little bit, it's a safety. So
and they couldn't decide if the ball actually went over or not, and that's why it stood or whatever. But it was another janky ball.
No, the safety was fine. The issue in replay was the early part of the game with the muff punt, which probably at the end of the day wasn't a muff punt. If I'm like Houston, I'm pissed about it, and just I believe
which
they have every right to be.
Complete side note, I laugh at the Houston people saying we kept it close, bros. Like, you could have won this game, and you should have won this game. You should be just as bad as
I'm not gonna finger wag and tell Houston people how to feel. You got your ass kicked the week before. You walked in Oklahoma and you embarrassed them. Even though you lost, you still embarrassed them. I ain't gonna tell you how to feel.
Oh, I will. Like, I have no shame of saying that to them.
I ain't finger wagging Houston fans and telling them, no, fuck that. No, we got bigger problems to deal with right now. I ain't worried about Houston. If they want to celebrate that they did something in their eyes, great, go for it, dude. I'm not here to say yay or nay. It's like, just whatever makes you happy. If that's how you feel, great. I think you deserve to have a little bit of happiness, because you got a head coach who can rebuild that program in a couple of years, because you're in the right vicinity recruiting wise to do something. You're going to find some hidden gems in the city of Houston to build your program with. So that's Houston football. If Houston football has a chance to be a Big 12 power, if things go right, I think they have the right head coach to do it. Getting back to our fucking shit show, I have to wonder what again. I just don't know what's going to take. They're going to have to lose a game. I think that if they lost,
like as per tradition, and
they have to lose.
They have to lose a game to get the coaches to get their shit together.
They're probably, if they don't make some serious changes or get healthy, I could easily see them losing. Not like barely losing to Tulane on Saturday, because they frankly should have beaten K-State. They made some bad mistakes, and the quarterback was a little loosey-goosey with the football, and K-State took advantage of it. So that's my hope, where the defense maybe can force some turnovers and like get a scoop and score. That's where we're at right now. That's where we are at. And so, Stutzman, Lewis Carter, Samuel Omasigo, Kendall Dolby, Grayson Holton, all these guys, you guys are gonna have to make plays until we figure shit out. They have to make plays.
I don't know if it was a rumor or not, so both of you feel free to correct me. Did Venables actually say to Arnold that, we're hoping the defense wins the game late in the fourth?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I wouldn't put it past him at the moment since he said we should have lost the game.
You speak of.
I could have sworn there was something of they said that Venable said we're going to have the
defense. Who's they?
But I'm seeing some of the comments I've seen in some of like the press conference stuff.
All right. Well, all I'm going to say is like my NCO back in the day is like, if I have said, they said that, who's they?
Sure.
Who's they?
Sure.
Who's they? Specialist Forster. Who's they? The guy at One Stop said, who's they? Give me a name. What was his rank? Was he white? Was he black? Was he Mexican? Tell me if he was Mexican, Forster. He really wanted to know if he was Mexican. I don't know. Maybe there's a component there. I don't know. But the point is, who is they?
Sure.
But no, like when we got that safety, I laughed my ass off. People said he's going full Joker. It's like no, it's just really funny that's how we're winning football games now.
We're Red Iowa. The joke's been used many, many times, but that's where we're at right now.
I mean, you can call it whatever you want, but it's like, oh my god, we've gone to the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah,
we're winning games on defense and no offense. It's so funny. It's like it's a cruel joke. It's the cruelest joke of all.
Yeah, it's
so fucking funny.
It's wild that this is where we're at, and it's only week 3 at this.
And but you know what I take solace in? I take solace that I'm make so much money for my YouTube channel.
Oh,
people want to watch me suffer, and people want to watch me suffer, and it's great. So I love. Thank you, ad revenue. Thank you, YouTube. Because like it's like people who bet against their team. It's like I bet against my team. So if my team wins, I'm happy. If they lose, I make money. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
It's the running joke of the man.
When Tennessee,
this sucks, but this is great for business.
When Tennessee likely kills us in 2 weeks, I'll make some money off of it. See, there's a solace to that. I want to beat Tennessee. I'm going to root for Oklahoma to beat Tennessee. So I'm not giving up on the idea that maybe they can pull something off. But as of right now, as we're talking, I don't have that faith right now. It's hard for me to feel that.
That's the right way to think, because realistically,
it's hard for me to feel that way.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, I'm gonna say I made the smart decision of I haven't bought an Alabama ticket yet, but and it maybe
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear you're not a real fan. It's like, bitch, I've been through the 90s. Like,
oh, I was told that. I said I wasn't a real fan, and I said, bros, I gave money to the school.
I'm 41.
I'm a real fan.
I'm 41 years old. I've been through the 90s. I've
yeah.
I don't want. I lived through Howard Schnellenberger. I don't want to hear any of that shit.
I had that, and I've said, bros, I ain't a t-shirt fan. I graduated there. I'm allowed to bitch about my school. We've also had season tickets in the family for decades. We're allowed to bitch. So, God, they suck.
Dad, why does our head coach
Dad,
why does our head coach look like Captain Kangaroo? There's a reference there for you.
That was a good reference. That's a good throwback.
It's not an original reference at all, but it's just like.
But it's a good reference.
We used to,
Gavin,
we called him Captain Schnelleroo. That was his nickname.
Ooh, that's still a good reference, though. I understood that. Gavin, I'm not trying to ignore you or anything, buddy. We've been venting. You gotta get stuff off your chest too, bud.
Where do I even put in? Because you guys just pretty much did all my inputs right then and there and everything. I really have nothing else to say. Because honestly, I was even talking to my mom, who does not watch football, is not a fan of it, and she even knows the standard of how the game is and everything, and she knows it was that bad. And I'm like, yeah, this was not even at this point. It was like, yeah, this is going to definitely be a long, long season. And I'm sorry, but besides the trench stuff and everything, I'm like, this has probably been like almost like the last decade, like a bipolar decade and everything, where either get too much on the offense, no defense, or a lot of good defense, no offense. There is no consistency on where I can be happy on both sides of the ball.
Oh, but get ready. But get ready. The dam is going to break at some point.
Yeah, defense. And people
and it's not going to be necessarily their fault. It's like, because like to expect this defense to be like lights out every week.
I mean,
it's not going to happen. Someone's going to fuck up our defense one week. It is coming, it may be against a team you really don't want it to happen to.
Texas. I'm calling it
Auburn.
No, Peyton Thorne is awful. No, it ain't gonna be.
It
ain't gonna be Peyton fucking Thorne. I promise you that.
Yeah,
Peyton Thorne is not doing shit against our defense. No, it's gonna.
Houston, and Temple were also bad.
It's gonna be Tennessee. It's gonna be Quinn Ewers. It's gonna be Ole Miss. It's gonna be Missouri potentially. It's just like those are the teams that could potentially fuck us up if we do not.
Yep.
So I am just like warning people now. I know people love the defense. I love the defense too, but there's going to be a week or two where shit's not going to go right. And if our offense can't keep pace, that's all, folks. So I'm just trying to prepare people now. Like, I love the defense. It's great. I don't think it's like top 5-ish elite. We're not there. We do not quite have we don't have an elite pass rusher right now on the edge.
We need about 2 more guys. And
it doesn't mean they can't develop over the year, but like, our Mason Thomas is kind of that guy. But be patient.
Didn't he struggle even a little bit last night though too?
Yeah, but it's like the defense for the most part played well. I'm not going
It's like, how many?
Our best pass rusher is Grayson Holton right now.
Yeah. And I mean, like, honestly, like, it's like Stutman's just been the only one that's been pretty much shining throughout all of this. I mean, he's the only one that's keeping it all together, honestly.
Not true.
No, I would say the defense. I would say he's
well, yeah, because he's gotten like 10 tackles or plus or something like that.
He leads the team, but it doesn't mean Kip Lewis and Lewis Carter and Samuel Onisigo and all those guys aren't doing anything.
That's where I disagree with the Scoop guys, where they said
Kendall Dolby's awesome.
Kendall Dolby is the more talented guy. I'm like, I disagree. I think Stutzman's the more talented guy on the defense over Billy Bowman. That's just my opinion, though, and I think so far
there's no threat down the field. So like, I don't know, like safeties weren't as active for reasons,
and that's fair too. I understand that. Again, I may be melting down.
Like if you want to see Billy Bowman do shit, like get ready for this week and next week.
Yeah.
So, like, just because like we haven't played against a legit quarterback threat yet. Period.
Yeah, because like everything was mostly all short stuff and everything, and they only had that one deep bomb, which was like a busted coverage, which was like a cover 2. Corner that just basically stayed in the flat.
Trust me, we're going to find out how good the secondary is like in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Against the freshman quarterback too.
Again, I'm keeping in mind injuries, but
exotic blitzes are coming.
Disappointment just doesn't describe the word of like all the stuff like, hearing Jake Taylor, like they're ready, and then the injuries like kind of derailed everything.
Jake Taylor tried to play hurt, and he couldn't finish the game.
Correct. Yeah, he couldn't do it.
So it's like I need to see these guys like get fucking healthy and like be putting together a consistent line for like more than 1 week. That's all I fucking want to see. And even then, it's going to take even more time for them to like gel.
And
you can't gel an offensive line that isn't consistent or has a healthy.
But that falls on and again, injuries. I understand that, but that falls on beat 'em both. Pick your guys and roll with them.
Yeah, but it's also
live
not
and die by the sword.
You can't just pick your guys when your starting center gets hurt week 1, and you're like, oh, you can criticize them for like shuffling shit around instead of just putting Bates in there or trying something else. But it's just, I don't know.
I think that is deserved criticism. He's not
oversettling. I don't know if he's overthinking shit or whatever it may be. It's just, you need guys to get healthy.
I think if anything, I would just like to see if either block gaps or something like that or anything to find a way we can maybe, I don't want to say we want to simplify even more the offense because I don't want that. I wanted to open the playbook, but like, I just want like the blocking to be simplified or something like that for the most part.
I agree.
I need Logan.
Hold on. Can I finish real quick? And then I'll let you vent. The only thing is like Houston had issues with their O-line and everything last week, and then they somehow got their shit together and everything and made us look incompetent with their O-line. Okay, I'm just going to say this out loud. I mean, they made themselves look competent, basically like changing up their blocking schemes, just within the next week. And honestly, all they did was just simplify the blocking schemes. I mean, I'm kind of at that point to where I think, if anything, just simplify the blocking a little bit, and that you would definitely get yourself a little bit better.
Well, no, we have to run inside zone. That's what we have to do. No. That square peg has to go in that round hole. God damn it. That's what we're doing.
But it's asking for a triangle, though. That's the problem. I don't disagree with either on all that, because, like, I do think, but we've said that before, too, though, with previous Lincoln Riley defenses and offenses. Like, why are we not running stuff that's tailored to these players? And at some point, that falls back on the coaches. You got to get them things that players sets them up for success. Because guess what? When you don't, you get the Mike Stoops situation all over.
Yeah. I mean,
I was confused about the competent part, because it's like they got 58 yards rushing. So I was like, I'm not sure where that came from.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying it was like, it was somewhat better. It wasn't like worse than what it was last week, though, is what I'm getting at. But
no, I understand what you're saying, Gavin. It's like the offense. You have to make, if it's not working because you don't have the talent to do that, you're asking for a 5-star performance with 2 stars. You got to give it to what their abilities are. And I've always said that's one of my biggest criticisms of Beat 'em Boat. It's always one of my criticisms of old Lincoln Riley was they're not making it where the players are being set up for success, even if it burns us. You have to tailor it to them, and they don't want to move from that. Yes, there is a theory beyond my own scope with it, because I'm not a coach. I don't see the players in practice every day. There's a theory. You got to stick with it. They'll eventually get it. Kind of the flip side of it, though, as well, you're going to lose some games because you refuse to switch from this. We saw that in 2022, 21, 22 with Brent's first year. When you don't switch from it, guess what? That's what you're at this point. I get it. I get it.
I mean, the one thing I would love to see, though, is like, maybe if we can maybe go ahead and find a way the center can basically do a seal block with the left guard, and the guard can just do a pull around to where they can do something with it. I would love to see that instead of some inside zone. I would love to see some trap or something.
Just, again, they just need to do some
plays.
Yeah, step up, make your plays. Why have they not done that? Because, I mean, and I don't know if that's Beat 'em Boat wasn't expecting some of these players to be forced into these positions, but then he walked
into the game this week like, I have Jake Taylor at right tackle. I feel better. Oh shit, Jake Taylor's hurt. Who the fuck do I put there? I'm not putting Spencer Brown. Tarquin, you're right tackle. Who do I put there? He's like, I just imagine he's just looking down at his sheet and going, fuck.
Yeah, and
because he doesn't know what to do right now.
But that was always a criticism of Bob Stoops, was he would keep the players in too long, and when they got injured, the guys next up were not ready. I feel like that is applicable for Beat 'em Boat right now, that these players are not
even keeping guys in too long. They get hurt like in the first quarter. So it's like,
that's something you gave me.
The center gets hurt in the first quarter, 10 snaps in. It's like, fuck, there's one guy you don't want to lose your center, and he's just. No, you don't want to lose your center. It fucks everything up.
No. Is it an anomaly? And it has to be. But is it an anomaly that we're having this many injuries this early in the season, or do you think they're practicing them too hard? I want to say no, it's not. But
dude, it's football. Look around the country. Notre Dame lost their left tackle in practice. Like, guys were all across the country were getting hurt in practice that were key guys. A&M lost their starting running back. Texas lost their starting running back. There's a bunch of, it's not just us. So it's like, this is not like,
that's why I said I don't want to.
We live in, I know football fans live in myopic bubbles where like only bad things happen to their teams, but this is why I pay attention to like across the country, and I listen to like Detroit radio here, and then I listen to LA stuff, and I listen to New York, well, not New York stuff because they don't give a shit about college football. You know what I mean? Like, the SEC network stuff. And so it's like, I try to keep like my finger on the pulse of like how people are foreseeing things and looking at things in other parts of the country that care about the sport. But it's like, it's why I knew Texas was going to whoop Michigan, because it's like, not because Texas was necessarily that great. It's because Michigan didn't have a fucking quarterback, and their offensive line was just as bad as ours. And oh my God, Like everyone who's like,
and at least we won. It was an ugly win, and I will always take an ugly W every single day of the week versus a
honestly,
loss.
I would have taken an L if it would have forced change and made things better.
Ooh, that's picking two different goals.
I'm dead fucking serious. But
it wouldn't have against Tulane. Let's be honest.
If they had lost, that it would force change, because what always happens, and I don't care who the head coach is, whether it's Bob, Lincoln, or whatever, it's like you take changes happen.
It varied on the loss, because if they would have lost,
changes
they may have not been as forced. If it was Tulane, if it was Tennessee, yeah, stuff probably would have been changed around for it. I don't believe they would have done it with Houston. They may have gone.
If they had lost to Houston, there would be people pissed. But here's the thing with OU: there's so much shit going around the country right now. Like, some people kind of notice us, but they're too busy talking about Michigan getting Michigan getting whooped by Texas. They're talking about Oregon surviving again. They're like, we're not on the radar, which is almost kind of like a good or bad thing depending how you look at it. But it's like
it's a good thing, to be
like
honest.
Notre Dame losing, like, it is just so appropriate Notre Dame lost that game, because it's like I was just like, wait a minute. Because everyone's like, wow, Notre Dame went to College Station, they beat A&M. It's like, wait a minute. These are two mid football teams. Like, why? Like Notre Dame's like number 5 in the country. I'm like, just watch. They're going to fuck this up, aren't they? And I didn't think it would happen a week later, but by God, it was beautiful.
Yeah. And you were right, because
God bless that Northern Illinois head coach, man. That you're allowed to cry in those situations. Those are the moments head coaches are allowed to cry. Unlike Butch Jones, who cried every time his team got a first down.
Hey, don't judge the champion of life. Bro, you should have seen it. The Notre Dame fans were pissed, and I saw.
Oh yeah, because we fell for it again.
And no, it was funny because he even said, like, I'm turning this game off. I can't anymore. I'm watching AEW tonight because it doesn't know how to disappoint me. Not a couple hours later.
When did you watch AEW?
Not me. Oh. This was the Notre Dame person, and he tweeted out, he's like, I'm pissed. I can't even.
I'm watching the pay-per-view. I'm going to watch Swerves.
He was watching the pay-per-view, and he said, fucking Jim Ross had to bring it up. You old senile fool, get out of here. And I laughed. I went,
he said, I'm going to watch Hangman Adam Page stick an AIDS-infected hypodermic needle into Swerve Strickland's mouth in the cage match in the main event. That's what he said. That really happened, by the way.
Sure.
No, I'm dead serious. It actually happened because he burned down Swerve's house like the week before because he bought his childhood home, and then Hangman showed up, set it on fire. Because committing arson, on cable television, not getting arrested, and able to wrestle a death match like a few days later happens all the time in wrestling.
Sure, I will take your word for it.
But yeah, that happened. It's like everyone trying to like, oh, USC, they beat LSU, and you're watching LSU like struggle with Nicholls State in the first half, and I'm just like, it's like to USC's credit, they beat down Utah State properly, like they should, but it's like everyone's trying to predict like a 2007 era season, and it's like, I don't know.
I've seen that a lot.
I don't know if we're going there, but it's like the teams that look competent are Georgia.
Texas.
I'll give Texas credit. They went up
Ohio
on the road.
State.
Now, granted, they were a road favorite, but they acted like
they took care of business.
They played like a road favorite. They played like a road favorite.
Yeah.
It's them. Ohio State they haven't played anybody yet, but it's like they still take care of business. Ole Miss hasn't played anybody yet, but they still good. Missouri hasn't played anybody, but they're doing what they're doing. So it's hard to like really judge certain teams. But we have a 12-team playoff now, so it's like a lot of these teams that are doing what they're doing are just racking up the wins they need to get in at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I heard people get mad. It's like, people are saying that Notre Dame is still could win out and get to the 12-team playoff. I hate this. They should be out right now. And it's like, I knew that shit was coming because
that's not how it works.
You know what the funniest fucking thing would be, honestly, with the playoff? Imagine, because Notre Dame is capable of winning out despite their horrible loss. Now they're capable
because their schedule's easy.
Yes, but they are capable of blowing another game. But imagine if they win out, they get that 5th seed, right? Let's just say by whatever reason they get the 5th seed. I'm not saying they're guaranteed. They would get that number 5. Northern Illinois right now, if they ran the table, they're the group of 5 team. And they would and they would likely they would get put in that 12. They would have to go to Notre Dame again. It would be like the biggest and all of a sudden like that game you thought would be an easy win for the number 5 just got a lot more interesting.
And I can root for NIU a little bit because like I didn't like NIU when they went through their Rod Carey phase. I hated that head coach because he was an ass. Tom Hammock seems like a much better guy. Boy,
we have a likable head coach who cried for his team because
he's very likable.
Well, because he played for the program and everything. He believes in the program, and it's like, oh my god, people who said college football is dead, they're wrong. Northern Illinois is a great college football story. Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, Cal
the best college football team in Chicago, by the way. So.
Cal beating Auburn. I got bad news for you. Just means Kamala is going to beat Trump. That's what it means. The liberals came in. The liberals came into the South and whooped up on a Southern football team. It's over. It's Jover.
Yep. It's over. Yep. I'll just need to accept it. Accept it.
The liberals came in to like one of the toughest places to play or so I'm told.
But Sean,
and they whooped up on you.
But Sean, remember, Auburn's a tough place to play at.
Cal Berkeley came in and whooped up on Auburn. Kamala for president. It's over.
But again, remember, Sean, Auburn's a tough place to play at. Don't forget.
Oh yeah, I was told. Like New Mexico State walked in and won last year. Cal fucking walked in. They don't even have a conference anymore. Cal lives in a cardboard box in an alley somewhere, and they just packed up their shit. They hitched a ride on the back of a turnip on the back of the turnip truck. Yeah. And they walked in and they whooped your ass. Yeah. I've been telling people Peyton Thorne is garbage all off season. And even then, it's like Peyton Thorne, like multiple turnovers. See, that's the one thing, as bad as our offense is, like we've only turned the ball over one time, as bad as this offense is. And it was a deep ball where Burks just like changed the route at the last second.
I mean, it was an arm punt, honestly.
Yeah, so it was an arm punt. Like, if you want me to do like silver lining, hey, this offense is really bad, but they're not turning the football over. So
I mean, look, I would rather deal with the 3 and outs and changing field position than having to deal with turning the ball over and having issues to where our defense has to be basically on our own 30, 20-yard line, honestly, and giving them a chance, honestly.
Yeah.
At this point. So it's like I don't want to say there is a complete silver lining because honestly, I'm still having my frustrations for the most part. But honestly, like I would rather deal with some of a lot of these very, very hard issues and everything that we have to deal with more than anything at this point. Because honestly, like as long as we don't turn the ball over and can play the field position in our favor, I would be happy with that.
What happened? Because I didn't get to watch it, but what happened with Oregon? Because
I didn't get to watch it either. That was on fucking Peacock. I ain't paying for that bullshit. So
I didn't realize it was on Peacock.
You were not getting me to buy fucking Peacock for Big Ten games. Fuck that. No.
I didn't realize that. Again, driving back.
It was a competitive game, and like Oregon just bled. It was a tie game, and they bled the clock, and they kicked the go-ahead field goal as time expired. So, but Boise looked like a team that if they had Boise looked like a team that could have won that game and been like that front runner for that group of 5 spot. But Northern Illinois is the current front runner right now because they beat a top 5. By the way, Notre Dame, which proves they are overrated as fuck all the time. Notre Dame has the most losses to unranked teams as a AP top 10 team in history.
Yeah.
To unranked, not ranked teams, unranked teams.
Yeah.
So keep putting Notre Dame in your top 10. Go ahead.
But then again, why would I trust Notre Dame at this point? Because honestly, they're just going to lead you to full disappointment.
They went on the road and they beat a shitty A&M team. It's like, you know how many times we went on the road to beat a shitty A&M team back in the Big 12 days?
Yeah, it was a whole lot. And honestly, like,
it was a tough place to play, all right, but there's plenty of shitty A&M teams back in those days.
Let's see, the two I'm just counting. Like, the only times I remembered from the Stoops era was like what 02 and 10, I believe, was when the only times we lost, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, I'm like the one time we went down there and just whooped their asses was like 08.
Yeah, it was 08. It was with Bradford and all them and everything. It was like 65-21 or something like that.
Yeah, we just basically embarrassed them in front of, we didn't do 77-0 like we did in 03, but it was just one of those things. It's like, yep.
04 was like 42-35.
Now I'm sad because like I'm being remembered. I'm being reminded what an offense looks like. I'm like, oh my God, Sam Bradford, DeMarco Murray, Trent Williams, Phil Lodeholt,
Jason White,
Duke Robinson. It's like, oh my God, an offensive line that actually can block, pass block, and run block. Jermaine Gresham at tight end. Well, we have some tight ends now. So,
how do you think the tight ends played last night? Like, I know they got the first downs. I know they got some of the. I think they got the first down. They didn't.
There was a play that looked like it was going to be beautiful until Jackson Arnold just like got it and batted down because they, like.
I mean, you really gonna put the blame on Jackson, for the bat down or anything, or because honestly, it was like.
Yeah, I'll put the blame on him. Sure, why not?
Okay.
Well, you mentioned it as well. I saw a lot of people complaining about it, but I didn't see anything. How were refs last night? I saw there were people melting down, but
it was mixed.
The Big 12 refs, they're Big 12 refs. They fucked us on that. They took away Woody's pick, claiming it was pass interference.
Oh yeah, that was bullshit. That was bullshit.
The next play was the busted coverage for the touchdown. So
honestly, that was. They basically made it a 6-point swing, honestly, and it's like, and it's even when I was telling my mom, they were out there to screw us, for the most part, and giving Houston every opportunity that they can to win the game.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. The refs weren't the reason we sucked. Like, it's not like there was.
I don't.
It's not like there were a bunch of fucking penalties against us. We were just incompetent on our own. But still, that was like Woody was like eyes on the ball. Yeah, he made contact with the receiver, but guess what? When you have tight coverage and you're looking for the ball and you make an interception, how many fucking times have you seen a guy make a pick one-on-one against somebody get called for PI?
Yeah,
bullshit, fucking bullshit. Unless you
think of any time.
Unless you push off beforehand where it's obvious, which he didn't do.
No, yeah,
it was tight coverage. It was like body to body coverage, and he called it. It's like they called that shit. I'm like.
But here's the one thing I will say is that the only reason we basically got out was because of Houston's own incompetence at so many different times.
Oh, don't worry, we tried to we matched that incompetence like play.
We tried to lose the game.
Well, here's the thing though too. It was like I will say that, and it was like I can't remember. It was like 4-2, 4th and 3, and in Houston somehow. We were not going to snap it or anything, and it was hard count, and they basically jumped the line and everything, giving us an automatic first down right then and there.
The one I questioned was,
dude,
you talk about the incompetence part. I question Houston's last drive. I don't know what they were doing on that last 35 seconds or whatever for it. Like, what are y'all doing?
Dude, like, I think they wanted to go home too. But you know what I'm also thinking of the running game. You know what it reminded me of? Especially Javonte Barnes at times, God bless him. He was trying to run the ball. He was like running into the pile and getting no traction. It reminded me of that part in Spaceballs where Lone Star just holds Dark Helmet by the head. And he's just swinging aimlessly his little saber thing. It's like, you hold the kid's head. You hold the little kid's head. He's just swinging his arms. You have him like at arm's length. That's exactly what it was like trying to run the ball between the tackles for this team. It's like, how are you not getting any penetration at all? It's just like, it's just terrible, just awful.
It's disappointing.
We've gone over everything. We've gone over everything.
Yeah, we have.
Oh, I know. Quinn Ewers for Heisman, by the way. Great win. Quinn Ewers for Heisman.
Whoa! Where did that come from?
Oh, because I knew it was coming. Because it's like, week 2, he went on the road against a helmet team, Texas.
And it's because they're second in the AP, right?
Say it. Say the H word. Say the H word. Because I was like begging as the watch along. Do it. Someone in the booth say the H word. Say it. Say it. Say it.
That was exactly. It was like the Bart Simpson joke. Say it. Quinn Ewers for Heisman. Hooray!
Say the line, Bart. The shooter was on our radar. Oh wait, that's another story. No. Say the line, Bart. He's a Heisman contender. Yay!
Hooray!
Yeah, we've exhausted Houston at this point. We're in for some tough times this season. I think people better prepare their butts. Like, this could easily be off the rails really fast. And I guess we approach that and we discuss that if that happens. But I mean, that's pretty indicative if we go like, yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
I don't want to do these watch alongs anymore. I can't do it. I can't do this.
But do you need the money though, Sean? I think you need the money.
I need the money. I'm a whore. I'm a
do it for the money.
I honestly at this point have a degradation fetish. I think that's what it is. I have a humiliation and degradation fetish. Because,
was your chat horrible last night?
I wasn't mad at anybody. Like a couple of years ago, I would have like fought tooth and nail against some of those people. I was like, I can't tell people to not be mad. I'm mad with you. I brought back my I broadcast through XSplit, so I brought back my soundboard, and I just started just like going nuts with it. So I need to get more creative and get more sounds, because I only have so many that are.
What sounds do you have?
Well, I have a really like over the top scenery chewing moment in the Superboy TV series from the 90s, where Lex Luthor and Superboy are trapped in a cave. And Lex Luthor is on the ground, and Superboy has a shovel, and it looks like he's about to murder Lex Luthor. And Lex Luthor yells, "Murder me!" And Superboy screams, and he like shoves the shovel down. And it fades to black, goes to commercial. It's like,
where would you use that?
I just murder me. Ah! It's like, kill me for watching this team. If you're ever interested in really corny DC television series that happened before you were born, Superboy on Max, you're in for a treat. I have that. I have Texas is Back, folks. Horns Up for Peace. I have some OU sound effects, flag touchdown Oklahoma and stuff like that. Nick Saban, my favorite. Nick Saban. It's never okay to lose a game. Which is my favorite.
Sean, you said we should have lost the game.
It's never okay to lose a game, but guess what? It was because I was like, people were saying we're losing. Like I don't take people seriously who say in the first quarter we're losing the game. It's just like,
no,
can we not do it in the first quarter? Now, when you get to the third or fourth
quarter,
when you get to the third or fourth quarter, and it's still like this, it's like, okay, you can say it.
To me, the rule of thumb is when we're under 7 in the third quarter, that's when it's like, yeah, break glass.
Well, but you see, we're establishing a pattern with this team now, so it's like I can't get mad at people in the first quarter. But it's like, I just love when people say, if there's like a bad play in the first quarter, we're gonna lose this game. We end up winning like 70-0 or some shit. Just like I love those people the most.
I don't. Game, huh? Mine is the rule of thumb. Unless we're getting our butts destroyed, and there's no hope. Under 7 third quarter.
I can't afford to like be that emotionally invested in OU football for my health. Seriously, I can't do it. Like, I'll get mad, I'll get upset, but I can't be streamer guy who's like, oh my god, every fucking play, because it doesn't mean anything if you do it every play.
Yeah,
and I'm not trying to do it from a performance standpoint. It's just the fact that I have serious like panic attacks at times. Like I fucking had a panic attack last year when we were beating Iowa State by 40. So it's like that shit can just happen for any reason.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm just watching it. I'm just like, whatever. Just like, do whatever you got to do. I'll amp it up in the fourth quarter when it matters a little bit, I guess. But I'm just like, oh my God, this fucking team. And they're going to do it again to me this Saturday.
I'll be live there watching it this Saturday. I'll be there watching the atrocity just like everybody else because I'm a sicko too.
They're going to do it to me on Saturday at 3 o'clock on 3:30 at ESPN. And I'm going to be like, well, here we go. Tulane has a competent offense, and defensively, I don't know, maybe not. I think Kansas State scored a lot. So, but then again, we haven't proved we can score on anybody. So it's like,
yeah,
we couldn't score in a whorehouse with $100 bill hanging out of our pants. It's just, I just don't know.
Best little whorehouse in Texas reference.
That's an anything reference.
Oh, so, well, fair.
But yeah, I'm sure that came from there as well.
Like we said, we've exhausted it, but go ahead.
Aggies won the big game and got to go to the Chicken Ranch. So,
yep.
Not this year. They lost to Notre Dame. Well, oh yeah, they get to play Texas. So does that come back? Now that we have NIL deals again, can we have an NIL sponsored Chicken Ranch Bowl between Texas? Like, can we actually legalize prostitution that in one county in Texas where the winning team actually gets to go to the Chicken Ranch? Has anyone thought this through? Because have a sponsorship. See if they played in. See if it was Nevada and it was like Nevada and freaking who am I missing here?
UNLV.
UNLV. I think you do. Like if they played a game, do they get to go to one of the? Do they get to go to one of like the the Carson City outlying counties that have legalized prostitution?
Go to Reno.
That sounds like an NIL winner to me right there.
Can't wait to see when OnlyFans sponsors the Big 12 at this point.
I'm telling you, there's money on the table that people are passing up.
Yeah. Wild.
They can't do it.
This is what the team has done to us. We've got to this point.
They can't do it in Texas. They can't do it in Texas yet because they outlaw abortion. But Florida could do it. We got it on the ballot this year, so we can establish abortion laws permanently on our Constitution. So Florida can open up some. Some of these counties out of middle of nowhere could open up have some fun. You know what I mean? Let's do it.
I think we've roughly covered everything.
Abortion's why the Democrats are going to win again this year, folks. So it's your own fault for trying to overturning that shit. Me getting political. Yeah. That's how crazy I am, motherfuckers.
That's how bad
these are jokes, by the way. So if y'all want to get mad at me later, fine. I really don't give a shit one way or another. You vote how you want to vote.
Yeah.
I'm just like poking the bear at this point.
Yeah, but it's like that's where we got to with this week. That's how frustrated we're on politics at this point. But we've also pretty much what you said too. We've exhausted this Houston game. I think we vented it out of our system.
Vote for me. Write me in. I can't do a worse job than either one of these morons running this November.
I mean, do you want to go coach our O-line? I think you could do a decent job with
if I can coach the O-line and make them better, I'll definitely run for president. I'm old enough.
Yeah, I can coach quarterbacks.
I think, Gavin, that is a good point. That is my one question.
Put me in charge.
With where we're at with grad assistants, whatever you want to call them or anything, I think that's Sept's biggest weakness. He's not a quarterback's coach, and that is reflecting a little bit.
My first executive action is to tell PepsiCo to tell their Taco Bell stores to bring back the grilled stuffed burrito. That is an executive order that I will declare right away.
I thought your executive order would be Baja Blast at the Taco Bell.
It's already there at the Taco Bell. What are you talking about?
Oh, I wasn't sure if that was like a limited thing or something like that.
No.
I don't need a Taco Bell.
No. It's always at Taco Bell. It's whether you can buy 12 packs at Walmart.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
The greatest thing happened though. We have 24 can cases you can buy at Walmart now. See that was the dream. That's the dream for me. But inflation's a big deal. I used to live in a world 5 years ago where I go to Walmart and get a case of soda for like $7. Now it's like 12.
Yeah.
Is it the Republicans? Is it the Democrats? I think it's the corporations. As president, I will fix inflation. I will fix all these high food prices.
You got to fix the O-line first, though.
I'll end the war in Gaza, motherfuckers. I'll fix all this shit.
You got to fix the O-line first, though, before you move on.
If I can fix the O-line, I can end the war in Gaza, or vice versa. If I can end the war in Gaza, I can fix the O-line.
Yeah, see, you got this figured out. You got it figured out.
Make offensive lines great again, motherfuckers. Let's do this.
God, that would be a hysterical T-shirt to see in Norman. I would laugh. I would legit.
You got the Stutzman and Bowman like like the 80s style T-shirt, the 80s style shirt.
Yeah, because I was just thinking of the dumb one with Eddie with "Make Lindsay Street Great Again." That'd be pretty funny.
I don't like the design of the shirt.
Oh, I don't either, but I think it would be funny.
It's a good idea for a shirt. Don't get me wrong. I just don't like the design of it. So.
Yeah.
Plus, I think it's honestly, let's be true. I think it's lazy to use the "make whatever great again" thing. It's just played out. I would come up with something different. So it has nothing to do with whether you like it or not. It's just like, it's played out. Do something different.
Yeah.
The "make X great again" thing is just like, you can do better.
It's like the Hope campaign and everything like that.
Yeah, everyone did their own version of Hope and everything. Yeah, it was cute for 5 minutes and then it got old.
Yeah.
I'm super independent and moderate, by the way, for in real life. So in case anyone's wondering, so it's like I'm like a wrestler. Sometimes I'm a babyface. Sometimes I'm a heel. It just depends.
When your team's not doing good, you're a heel.
Yeah. I'll turn heel real quick.
Sean and Gavin, I did chuckle real fast. When I was talking to Mom last night in between like the games and driving home, it was funny because I was like, "Oh, OU's not doing well," and my mom's like, "Oh no." Because it just gets Dad in like just a foul mood because it ruins the weekend essentially, just like for the rest of us, it ruins the weekend. It's just like
I honestly was so upset. I'm like, the only thing you could cheer me up, I'm gonna start a new Red Dead Redemption 2 campaign.
I said you were gonna start it.
Oh yeah.
I need to go shoot people and skin animals to make myself feel better.
Yeah.
You know what a buddy of mine did back in high school when he got like very frustrated, like from school or work or everything? He had the Incredible Hulk, like Ultimate Destruction on Xbox, and he's like, "That's why my venting. I put that in."
That was the smartest video game they ever made for the Hulk. Just like make an open world where you can just break everything.
Yep.
I mean, for me, it's like you're doing college football now these days and just basically trying to put up almost over 100 points at this point. That's how I vent.
Yeah.
Hulk hate machine. Machine hate Hulk.
Yep. Hey, that's part of that ripping a tank in half and using it as fists.
Do I go see the new Beetlejuice? I have no idea if I should or not.
Oh, you can. I mean,
I've heard people say it's okay.
Yeah,
it's mid.
It's
It's not a cash grab. It's not nostalgia glasses. It was more of a excuse of, can we get the...
Wait, did you actually see it?
Yeah, I've already seen it.
Oh, okay.
It was very much a, how can we get the cast together?
Except for one.
Which is weird because he was highlighted a lot in that film, which is really
weird. They had to murder him because he was a fucking child predator, and
even then he was highlighted a lot in the film, and that even I was like, ugh, like even I'm a little uncomfortable, like why they didn't just write him off. But
I understand like the opening, he's dead, like that's what the funeral's for, but it's weird that in a world where we're dealing with the afterlife, he doesn't even show up because it's like you can't have the creepy child predator in the film anymore because
spoiler alert, he was in the film a lot.
What do you mean he was in the film? He wasn't in the film.
He was in the film.
Lydia's dad wasn't in the film.
Yeah, he was in the film, but I'm not going to say what because it is spoilers and I don't want to spoil it for people who want to see it. He was in the film though, a lot.
Like, not just like, was he a digital thing or was he actually?
No.
They brought that motherfucker actually made an appearance in the movie. Lydia's dad, who was the principal from Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, in a way, yes. I don't believe it's the same actor, but yes.
I was about to say, like, that's very important information.
He's very prominent enough where
they would never put him in there, considering he got caught doing what
he was a pedophile. Correct.
Yeah. He's not going to be in the movie, like the actual actor. Obviously, I'm sure they had an explanation for why Geena Davis and Alec Baldwin weren't there. Like Alec Baldwin has bigger problems to worry about, but I don't know, Geena Davis, like I don't know.
Oh, they had a very, very simple explanation for that. That was a one-line throwaway, and that's it. That's why.
That's what I would assume for that shit, because they were supposed to be in that house for like 100 years or something. So it's like, oh, yeah, you got to explain why they're not there.
Yeah.
I just think it's like, I know I know going into it that they took a throwaway line and made a character out of it with like Beetlejuice's ex-wife or whatever. And it's like, it was meant to be a joke throwaway line where he's like, he had the finger with the ring, like in the first movie, she meant nothing to me, blah, blah. And they made that a character. It's like, guys, can't things just be why do things have to be lore? Can't it just be a throwaway line? And just like, I don't know, like the original Beetlejuice is one of my favorite movies ever. Which, by the way, here, what's awesome about the one thing about Beetlejuice that I'm sure they did not do in this movie, I'm pretty much guaranteed. Like Beetlejuice, the titular character in the original film, it took a long time for him to show up in the first movie.
Yeah, it took about halfway through the film,
40 minutes or something like that. Where you saw the little commercial, up
even quicker on film versus when the Power Rangers actually morphed in the new one. Anyway,
that took guts. I took real that was a heroic move by that director not to have them turned into the suits in that movie that nobody wanted a sequel to because
it sucked. Anyway, cute Beetlejuice,
predatory lesbian Rita Repulsa, man.
Yeah,
didn't necessarily hate it, but it wasn't going to work with most audiences.
No, it wasn't. But to the credit, Beetlejuice still appeared 40 minutes in, but it never felt like it was 40 minutes though. But what do you mean for what they didn't do in this film?
I just assumed he showed up like within the first 5 minutes or 10 minutes even.
No.
Yeah, they got to establish the daughter and everything. I get that. So probably 20 minutes.
Not even that. I think it was 30 minutes. Easy.
I guarantee you that's a lot sooner than the original film.
Yeah, in the original, as I'm thinking, sure. But in this one, it was about 25 to 30 minutes before he shows up, if that.
I might guess I'll catch a matinee or something. I'll go see it.
Yeah, because I'm trying to remember when he actually, without spoiling it,
there are still 8 people here listening to us talk about Beetlejuice. It's amazing.
People love Beetlejuice. That's why.
It's a great 80s film. It's an iconic.
It is.
It's an iconic Tim Burton film. What can I say?
And you told me wrong. You told me it was an R-rated film. It's a PG film. I did not realize that.
What do you mean?
The original Beetlejuice.
I never said it was R-rated.
We said it had a conversation long ago that it was R-rated.
No,
on it, but it's a PG.
It probably was. It had to be at least PG-13.
No, it was a PG film.
He said the F word. You get one you get PG-13. You get one F word in PG-13, unless they change the rules.
Are you talking about Beetlejuice, this one or the other one?
The original from the 80s.
Yeah, it's a PG film.
And because. Dude, Michael Keaton says, and I quote, "Nice fucking model, honk honk." Usually that's an automatic PG-13 where you get one F word.
Nope, I'm looking at it right now. PG MPAA.
They must have changed standards of practice, because I know for a fact PG-13 you're allowed one F-bomb.
Correct.
If you do more than one F-bomb, it's an automatic R.
Correct. Or unless you get a very special exception.
Like, I want to say like Empire Strikes Back and shit like that was how PG-13 came about, because because it's like they needed an in between PG and R for movies like some of the Star Wars movies back in the day.
And that may have been it, because I know Beetlejuice is.
But they made a joke about it in the movie Be Cool with like John Travolta, where he's talking about movie ratings, and it's like, he's like, PG-13, you're only allowed to say the F word one time. You know what I say that? Fuck that. And that was the joke, because it was a PG-13 movie.
Correct.
So it's like, it must have been different. So I got in trouble for saying that line in front of my stepmother one time.
Oh, gee, I wonder why.
She's like, oh, I said the F word. I was just trying to explain. Actually, you know what he really says in the movie? He says nice. It was like one of those. Is this one of those kid moments that happens? You're innocent.
Yeah, you were. How old?
This would have been. God. I was like 10.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think.
I mean, that's enough for you to get away.
I lived in Oklahoma on and off twice in the 90s. It was weird.
Yeah.
Weird times. There's one time I went and visited I visited my dad for spring break one time. And I didn't want to go home. Because I didn't want to go back to the chaos living in that situation. So
I don't blame you.
I stayed there, and I lived there through the rest of the school year, and then the summer came, and then I moved back. So
yeah.
This is my dad was on the road all the time. He's like, "Look, I'm on the road all the time. Blah blah blah. It's better this way."
I mean, and that makes sense.
But it was just
Gavin,
go ahead. I got to watch shitty OU football from the 90s. That had to have been like 93, 94.
See, that's why I appreciate growing up as a kid in the 90s, because I didn't have to fully experience shitty OU football because, hey, Saturday morning cartoons.
Oh, I actually had.
I didn't know better.
Brother, I had real Saturday morning cartoons. None of this Foxbox anime shit that people got late. No, I got the real shit back in the day. Real Saturday morning cartoons.
It's okay to be jealous that
not to be jealous of. I had real Saturday morning cartoons back in the day when I was growing up. Okay, you gotta deal with it.
Yeah, like Tasmanian Devil,
No,
Bobby's World.
You shut the fuck up about Bobby's World, okay? No,
I can't say anything about Bobby's World because Bobby's mom is an OU fan. I can't say anything about that.
That's right. I have proof too. I have proof that
you do.
Bobby. I got Bobby's mom wearing the OU sweatshirt.
Yeah, it's true.
Can't
confirm.
I'm a Sooner, don't you know?
Yeah.
In Big Ten country, no less. Rocking the OU sweatshirt.
She staked her claim up in the Big Ten before many of us did.
Go Sooners,
got a head
don't
start.
you know? She didn't actually say that, but that would have been funny.
I'm
talking about the shit that dude. You know what I grew up with? Like the X-Men and Spider-Man.
I did too.
Yeah, but I was like better than you. So.
Oh well, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got to enjoy.
I was older and more mature. Was able to enjoy it more.
Okay. That's well. You didn't get to enjoy Digimon or Pokemon though, so
no. That was a good thing because like those are trash.
That's okay. Everyone's entitled to a wrong opinion.
Keep your Digimon and Pokemon and all your other mons.
Yeah, but to be fair, you also didn't have to experience the atrocity or the monstrosity that was Angela Anaconda. God, the people who made that show.
That's why I automatically had better cartoons than you growing up. Dude, I had like the real Ghostbusters. I had all this stuff. It was awesome.
Yeah, but
I had G.I. Joe. I had Transformers.
Yeah, but you also didn't have DBZ though.
DBZ?
I did.
DBZ wasn't a Saturday morning cartoon.
It was on Toonami. Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. That was an after school show, and you know it. That was a Monday through Friday show. No, it wasn't. It was a Monday through Friday show.
Yeah, because it was on The Rising Sun.
Nobody watched The Rising Sun. Okay?
I watched The Rising Sun.
Nobody watched The Rising Sun.
No, nobody watched Toonami on WB.
WB's different. WB is a different thing.
Yeah, Toonami was on Kids WB for like a year, and then they canceled it.
Dragon Ball Z was on like WB in its early days before Cartoon Network got the rights to it. Okay,
the OG Dragon Ball. Yeah,
it was on at 5. It was on at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's when you had to get up and watch that garbage. Anyway, so I still have better Saturday morning cartoons than you. That's the point.
Well, I will.
Okay. I had the Disney afternoon, motherfuckers.
Yeah, we had Yu-Gi-Oh though.
I had the Disney afternoon. I had DuckTales, Chippendales Rescue Rangers, Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, but all that's
gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere.
That's a
high adventure that's beyond compare. Alicia Keys knows what's up. All right, she sang the song on Jimmy Fallon.
That is
Gummy. Yes, Alicia Keys.
I need to look this up.
Like, it's hilarious. It's like Jimmy Fallon goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, Alicia Keys." All of a sudden, she starts playing the piano, and you start hearing what she's saying. She's like, dashing and daring. It's like, what the fuck is happening? Alicia Keys out of nowhere goes, "Gummy bears, bears." It's like the funniest fucking thing. I think Jimmy Fallon sucks, but that was like legit one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen. Alicia Keys just dropping at it, just doing a cover of the Gummy Bears theme song.
I need to make a note to see that after our stream is over, just to see the wild.
I will find that for you.
It's nice that they're catering to our generation, because I saw not just at the con, if you decide to purchase drinks at the convention, you could purchase it from the Drinkalodian menu. So
where the hell is it?
Yeah.
It's partially lost media because people like didn't keep that or whatever. Like the audio exists apparently. There was a video, but it was like posted some random place.
Nah, there's always time. There's always time to find.
I'm gonna find this motherfucker real quick because it's amazing.
Sure. While you do that though, Gavin, Sean, do y'all have any final thoughts from the game this week? Any final?
We're all gonna die.
Thing from week 2 at this point, because we've exhausted talking about it at this point. I'm taking that as a no at this point. So. No. Everyone, thanks for tuning in tonight, y'all. We'll wrap it up here. Be sure to comment, rate, subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, so you also know when I upload videos to the channel or we go live. Additionally, be sure to check out the previous videos and live streams, as it helps bump the channel numbers up and help the algorithms in the search bar and or like the after videos. If you're looking for previous videos or anything that I have uploaded, they're in the description below, and I do my best to update that, so you can just go link and click and watch them from there. Our next live stream will be this Wednesday at 8 o'clock CDT time, as we're going to preview our game against Tulane at that point in week 3. As a reminder, I hold post-game videos either on the occasional Sunday or Monday, and our preview games on Wednesday or Thursday. Be sure to check the calendar. Again, that's all dependent on my upload schedule and my time at this point. Sean, Gavin, thanks for joining me tonight. Thanks for venting along with me. I think we all got it out of our systems for it, even though we'll probably be back here next week, probably bitching and griping about it at this point as well. Chat, thank you as well for joining in. So hope everybody has a good rest of your Sunday. Continue to vent, get angry and stuff as well, because we're going to be here no different than anybody else for the next 10 weeks. So Boomer Sooner, guys. Only one Oklahoma, and I'll see everybody Wednesday and next Sunday. Later.